My name is Cheryl Tsuyuki, and I am a community schools coach at Los Angeles Education Partnership, or LAEP, alongside my colleagues, Alessandra Cascarano, a fellow community schools coach, and Jose Montes, our community schools director. You may be wondering, who is LAEP? So I'd like to take a moment to introduce our organization. Los Angeles Education Partnership was founded in 1984, and we are a nonprofit that advances educational equity. Together with families, schools, and the community, we facilitate access to and opportunities for quality educational and wellness practices so that children thrive from diapers to diplomas. Now that you know a little bit about our organization, let's get started on this learning session. In this module, we are going to explore what community schools are, how community schools are different from quote-unquote traditional schools, and why there has been a shift toward the community school model. We hope that by the end of this session, you will gain knowledge of the context and purpose of California community schools and understand a bit more about how community schools address the needs of students, families, and the communities they serve. We're going to be doing this by reflecting, building some context of why community schools came about, defining community schools, and envisioning what community schools can do for our families, students, and communities. We'll conclude by inviting you to participate in reflective activities for this session. Let us start by asking, how is or was your experience in school? Did you, your family, and community feel included and a part of the school? Did you feel like you had influence and voice in how it was run or what decisions were made? Did you have a say in what programs were offered? Did your school meet your personalized needs, such as academic, health, social, or emotional needs? Did you feel like it helped you thrive and succeed? For many of us, the answer may be no. The reasons why may be different depending on the school you are attending or attended, but for many students, families, and communities, it's because the school was a part of a bigger system that didn't provide what we needed. These are called systemic barriers. The California Community Schools Initiative is an effort to disrupt those systemic barriers, especially for those in marginalized and diverse communities. The community school model is a school improvement strategy. We simply need to improve how things have been done. So what are community schools? The California Department of Education defines community schools as any pre-K to 12th grade school that uses a whole child approach with an integrated focus on academics, health and social services, youth and community development, and community engagement. The Coalition for Community Schools defines a community school as a public school, the hub of its neighborhood, uniting families, educators, and community partners. It's an evidence-based strategy to promote equity and educational excellence for each and every child. So why are we aiming toward this model? Well, what we've been doing thus far in traditional schools hasn't met all students' needs. It hasn't been equitable. Some students, families, and communities need different or more supports than others to succeed academically and thrive in life. The community schools model is an equity-enhancing strategy. We need to change the way we've done things. And the way to change is to transform. This is the why of community schools. Can you now envision what a transformed school could look like? A community school? What would it mean for a school to be a hub or gathering place for your family, neighborhood, educators, and community? What would having a voice in decision-making look like? What services could a school offer to meet your needs, including health, social, emotional, or academic needs? Let's take a moment to envision your community school. What would it look like? What would it do? Imagine a school that helps you get glasses so you can see the board or read, or provides meals so you aren't hungry and can focus on your studies or school activities. Imagine a school that has social workers who provide mental health services so you can take care of your whole well-being. Imagine a school that supports family members and caregivers with health clinics, financial literacy classes, or language classes that support them with their needs. Imagine a school that provides free tutoring or after-school enrichment activities like art, music, dance, or science that help you learn and grow in every area of your interest. Imagine a school that helps with the college and career process so that you're not alone in applying for college, financial aid, or preparing for interviews and the professional world. Imagine a school where you, your families, community members, and school leadership and staff all gather and decide together on how the school can set you up for success and help you thrive. A key takeaway to remember is that every community school is different. Your community school will look different from any other because your community and its needs and collective assets are different from another's. So if you've seen one community school, you've seen only one community school. Also, becoming a community school won't happen overnight. It may take time to make small changes that will lead to transformation. Your school may already be addressing some student, family, and community needs. The community school model will help further identify those needs and what your community's collective assets are, so you can all work together to help students succeed and thrive. To reinforce what we've discussed so far, let's watch a brief video about community schools by the Partnership for the Future of Learning. As you watch, consider the following question. How are community schools similar or different from traditional schools?
What makes a school a great school? Caring for the whole child. Expanding the horizons of learning. Building relationships with families. Working together to realize a shared vision. This is the school every student needs. This is a community school. Community schools are public schools that partner with stakeholders to create the conditions students need to thrive. Community schools can be found across the United States, and their numbers are growing fast. But what exactly makes a school a community school? They integrate student supports. Clinics, counselors, and other services ensure each and every student is ready to learn. They expand and enrich learning. Extended school days, summer programs, and real-world experiences help students reach their full potential. They engage families and communities. Partnering with residents to identify and meet community needs makes everyone feel safe, welcome, and involved in school. They lead in collaboration. Inclusive decision-making and peer learning builds trust among students, educators, families, and communities. When a school stands on these 4 pillars, it's a community school. Research supports this 4-pillar approach, but there's no one-size-fits-all model. Every community school is different because each community is different. Figuring out what it looks like in your community starts by getting actual community members involved. That's the full-time job of community school coordinators. They're the human bridge connecting all the partners and stakeholders that make community schools possible. So that's what makes a school a community school. Now, how do you pay for it? Startup costs like hiring a full-time coordinator can be raised from foundations or state and local governments. Tapping into existing funding and partnering with local businesses can bring in service providers. Sharing resources and staff with partners can help everyone do more. And as a community school becomes more established, leaders can advocate for budgets that sustain their impact and new funding to expand it. Every community school is different. What will yours be like? Get started at communityschools.futureforlearning.org.
As we end this session, we would like you to join us in our initiative to transform schools through the California Community Schools Partnership Program. You could help create your community school. You could change the way things have been done. You could be part of the transformation toward a community school. If you are here as a student joining us with your family, or as an educator with your school teams, or are a partner organization supporting a school, we invite you to explore some reflective questions in small group discussions, or independently write your thoughts in the handout provided with this session. For your reference, here's a screenshot of the supplemental handout for this Introduction to Community Schools session. Please access this on the webpage where this webinar is located. Now, take 10 to 15 minutes to either write or discuss in what ways is your school similar or different from a community school? What systems, structures, and/or partnerships already exist at your school to meet the needs of your students, families, and communities? Feel free to pause this video here to complete this optional reflective activity. We hope that you had a moment to reflect on how your school may already be meeting the needs of your students, families, and communities, and have identified some systems, structures, and/or partnerships that can be created or strengthened to shift toward a community school.